it was cut short because I guess I was having some connectivity issues. So today's video, I want you guys to go ahead and help me out with and solve this mystery. The mystery is why is Carl Pei and Akis leaving, or why did they leave OnePlus? Now, if you guys are not unfamiliar with Carl Pei, he was the co-founder of OnePlus, and if you guys are unfamiliar with Akis, he's one of those top executives at OnePlus for the design team. I'm not exactly sure what his position is, but today we found out he left OnePlus, and I'm not exactly sure why he left OnePlus because today was the release of the Nord N10 and the N10 100. So this guy left on the launch day for the US, or the announcement of the Nord in the US, because this device should have been, I think it should have been released in December, and now we're in January. So here's the thing about OnePlus. OnePlus, they divided themselves into the new OnePlus, brand, where it's like all capitals and the prices are high-end premium products. And then we have the Nord, which is supposed to be on the lower end, mid-range, low range of budget side. So this product, the Nord lineup, is supposed to be handled by Carl Pei. And since he left, we haven't heard much of the Nord line. And for OnePlus right now, as to the direction that they're going in, it seems that they're using the Motorola business model. And for the Motorola business model, what I've seen is that they're going to, I don't want to say flood the market with different models and focus more on making money rather than just losing money, because no one wants to lose money in the long run. If you guys keep losing money, you're just going to pretty much fall out of the game. It's like Monopoly. You still want to stay in the game, so you're gonna play carefully. You're not gonna try and. So for the OnePlus Nord, are you guys interested in the OnePlus Nord? Let me know down in the comment section. I did release a video on Gcam on how to go ahead and install the what I think is the best Gcam version available. So, man, what do you guys think about Carl Pei and Akis leaving? Now, as for Carl Pei, I have no idea what he's planning on doing. I think Carl Pei is on his Twitter account. He has a link taking you to what I believe is a job search. I think he's hiring right now. And the rumors say that Carl Pei is right now, he's trying to work on some audio technology. I'm not exactly sure how true that is. And let's see, Carl Pei, check him out real quick. We are hiring breezy.hr. Okay, so, oh, he has a ton of openings. Campaign manager, customer service manager, delivery manager. It's in London and Bangalore in India. So, I mean, it's kind of, I'll say this, if you've been working for OnePlus for a very long time, and all of a sudden you just, abruptly, say you're leaving, and then you have a website link on your page where you're hiring some big time positions, a global PR manager. This guy, okay, what exactly does Carl Pei have up its sleeve? Like I said, he says he isn't allowed to say much, except he believes that the tech world needs a fresh breeze of change. That is true. Now, if Pete Lau is watching this video, okay, I'll tell him this. For him to go up against Samsung, I mean, he obviously knows that he's not going to, win in a war against Samsung, where it's against feature, hardware against hardware. You guys do know that Samsung, they're working with Qualcomm right now. They're actually manufacturing the Qualcomm chips. So Samsung is in a great situation. But for OnePlus, if they want to, really make a difference, it's going to have to be in the software side of things. I have the OnePlus 8 Pro. Let me go ahead and just pick this up real quick. Get some of that OnePlus energy for this live stream. So here's the OnePlus 8T. And this phone, guys, it's more on the minimalist side. And I do believe that OnePlus, if they were to incorporate some more software features, something like Zen Mode, something that really makes our helps us make our something that helps benefit our lives. Some of you guys have never heard of Zen Mode. What Zen Mode is that it basically shuts down your phone. It plays some nice calming music. You have a timer about 30 minutes, 15 minutes. It just, takes everything away. So like today, like say I was like, a little bit stressed out. I'm tired of, I'm addicted to social media, whatever. So I'll activate Zen Mode and it'll just take me into this nice, calm place. I don't have to think about text. I don't have to think about phone calls. I can't. I'm not allowed. I'm not able to access my social media accounts. So this, pretty much is kind of like your teacher or mom or dad just putting you on timeout, and you're just like in this nice, peaceful zone, which I think is what we all need. So if you're thinking about the betterment of, of our life, and I know in social, well, the way how the world is right now, everything's going digital. The thing is that, people are making money off of us by our interaction with our phones. So they want us to stick to social media. They want us to, get trapped into just scrolling, for hours and hours and engaging. So it's not healthy for us, but people are making money off of it. And if OnePlus could break that lifestyle, help us break out of that shell, that would be truly amazing. But anyways, guys, if you guys see if check out the chat right now. Do you have any chats? No chats. All right, so I'm recording the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition, and you guys, it has a great camera. What can I say? For OnePlus, I was really close to giving up on the OnePlus 8T because even for taking some regular photos with this phone, it was kind of difficult sometimes. It was unreliable. But once I installed the Gcam app, it was just a night and day difference. So let's go ahead and let's go back into this chase and figure out why everyone's leaving OnePlus. Okay, Carl Pei, I guess he found something better. What if Akis is going to work with Carl? That would make sense because Akis is just not going to leave OnePlus without another job. And based on his Twitter posts, Akis, I don't think I've ever met him in person. He was on the OnePlus documentary. I was on the OnePlus documentary as well for like about a second or 2 seconds. It's pretty cool. And for me to be in the documentary and for the OnePlus Nord to not be available in the United States, that was kind of weird. I mean, you're building up hype and you released a phone which is something that everyone else on YouTube, all the tech YouTubers were really talking about, and you're not putting it at the US market. That was a strange play. I'm not exactly what's next. Well, he says he's not going to tell us anything right now, but eventually he will um, let us know what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised if he joins with Carl Pei. But for the meantime, for OnePlus, man, if you guys have any, recommended videos for OnePlus, let me know down in the comment section. So OnePlus, I know the Galaxy S21 is coming out, and that phone to release a new flagship phone in the first month of 2021 with the top of the line processor, it's it's that's a big blow. I mean, Google Pixel, that's going to come out like in what, October, maybe November with that same processor. So Samsung has a huge advantage right now. People, they love upgrading just for the new features, for the new processors. And OnePlus's selling point most of the time it's with specs, it's with performance. And to see what is the latest Galaxy S20, Samsung Galaxy S21. The processor, go ahead and check this out. The Galaxy S21 processor, Snapdragon. Snapdragon 888. Okay, so it's coming out with the Snapdragon 888, and the OnePlus 8 Pro right now has a Snapdragon 865. That, for OnePlus, who's a small company compared to Samsung and Apple, that I think it's gonna, really twist their arm and have them like, drop down the price of the OnePlus 8 Pro sooner than usual. I mean, it might be good for the consumers, but for OnePlus, I'm not exactly sure how much profits or how much, how much losses they might take on that. Or because think about it, the OnePlus 8 Pro, or the OnePlus 9 Pro, it's on its way in a few months, and the Samsung will be released in a few weeks. And people are, a lot of people, they don't have as much money as they did before due to the epidemic, whatever's going on. So for OnePlus, they have a big decision to make. Should they go ahead and drop the price, start promoting the OnePlus 8 Pro in wake of the Galaxy S21 release? Because some people are going to just, say, hey, I'm gonna pick up a Samsung this year. So OnePlus is in a very, very rocky situation right now. As for the Galaxy S21, as you guys know, I'm only interested pretty much in upgrading for the camera performance. I'm a camera guy. When it comes to smartphone performance or Android performances, these they perform. I would go as back as the Snapdragon 845, 835. Those phones perform pretty damn good. No issues with performance. It all comes down to the camera performance. So if you guys are just joining me, man, we're trying to figure out why did Carl Pei and Akis leave OnePlus, two of the top guys from OnePlus. Hit that like button and, let's get that algorithm going. I'm trying to, hustle right now, guys. I'm trying to post as much videos as possible. So let's see what we got here. As you guys know, the OnePlus Nord N100 was just released. And we have the Nord N10 as well with 5G capabilities. So, like I said, it was supposed to be released in December. Now we got the announcement today. It's about to be released in about 2 days. So, what are you guys interested in picking one up? Or are you not interested in picking one up? Personally, guys, due to the financial, what's going on in the world right now, I don't think consumers have the luxury of buying flagships like as they've had in the past. A lot of people are, they don't have a job. Some people, they don't, they got cut from work or, whatever it may be. They're not making as much money as before. Maybe they got cut down on hours. So for the OnePlus N100, I would pick that one up over the OnePlus N10 plus 5G. And I'll tell you guys right now why I would do that. I would take the the N100 because of the battery life. You're getting 4,000 milliamp hour battery life. And I'm a big fan of, long battery life. You have a triple camera system. The price is only $179. And you're also getting a free Bullets Wireless Z headphone. All right. As for the N10 plus 5G, it starts off at $299. That's going to be about 120 bucks more. And if you're going to spend about 300 bucks, you can get a OnePlus 7T, guys. A OnePlus 7T that performs faster. You still have 90 hertz. It's going to have a better build quality, and the fingerprint sensor is actually built inside the screen. So that's a dangerous territory right there. But like I've said in my last video, the OnePlus N10 plus 5G, that's going to be available to consumers who walk into a T-Mobile store, who know nothing about technology, who just wants something that's affordable and that has 5G. Because the T-Mobile 5G speeds right now, they've been killing it. Let me go ahead and take off Wi-Fi and run a quick test right now. So in the years I've been here in this location, at home, I could probably get about, on average, like 15, 20, 25 megabits per second. Now, for the new T-Mobile right now, the speeds I'm about to get right now, what was that, 20? Okay, so we're in the 20 range. 20, 30. I just came off of Wi-Fi, so it's probably just readjusting. 34 megabits per second. So, and if I were to come outside of my house, it could jump from anywhere from 50 to over 100. So it's very, very impressive. And so we got someone in the chat. Motorola can do the deed. So I was talking to my friends right now, about, okay, Samsung notification, earn money while charging. So here's something that you can really differentiate a OnePlus device with a new Samsung device. Samsung devices, they're doing a lot of advertising in their phones, and I realize that their products, they require a lot of access to your information. For example, the Galaxy Gear Fit watch, I was practically free with a purchase of a Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition with a pre-order. So why would they give me a free watch with a phone that's at a ridiculous low price? And once you activate that watch, the permissions, they want to know all your contacts, your call history, your location, and if you were to say no, you're not able to go ahead and use the app, which I thought was very, very strange. So OnePlus is going to come out with their new fitness band, right? And OnePlus, if you want to differentiate yourself from Samsung, like I've said, you're not going to win when it comes to feature versus feature or hardware versus hardware. OnePlus, you're going to have to go ahead and work on the more of a, represent yourself as being on the more minimalistic side and focus maybe on more on privacy. Now I heard that you guys are going to work with someone from Google themselves, and my hunch is it's not going to be about the cameras. The Google camera is Google's pride and butter. All right, they're not going to give up their cameras to a competitor. What I could see happening is uh, Pete Lau in partnership with, this guy, was it Locke? I don't want to mispronounce his name. Lockheimer. Hiroshi. All right, my name is Rishi. His name is Hiroshi. So that shouldn't be too hard to pronounce. So with this partnership, my hunch is that they could work on maybe privacy or something within the hardware line of Android and Oxygen OS. So for OnePlus, if you guys are going to release this fitness band, I just ask of, a few things. I ask you guys to, respect consumer privacy, and I just want to have great battery life, and I also want to have good performance. I don't want to have any lag. When I get a text message, I want it to arrive onto my watch ASAP. With the Galaxy Fit, the price right now, I've seen it for about 40 bucks. I think you guys are going to release your watch as well at around 40 bucks. I know it's very hard for you guys to compete in this market. Samsung is taking over. The Samsung monopoly is taking over. We got about 3 people in the chat right now. You guys can go ahead and say what you want to say. This, I'm all ears. I like listening to different perspectives. It's probably okay. So, are you guys interested in the OnePlus N10 and 100? Where are you guys from? Let me know in the comment section. So, like I've said, some people have requested me to go ahead and pick up a Google Pixel 5, and some people have requested me to go ahead and become that OnePlus guy and focus on a niche. That way I could grow my channel even better. And here's the problem, guys. Now that I'm focusing on OnePlus, I gotta save up my money for OnePlus products. I would love to go ahead and pick up a Pixel 5 and test out the cameras and whatnot, but like I said, the niche is OnePlus. People are not going to watch my channel just for, when they see a Pixel, they might, shy away. So I'm fighting between, just producing just strictly OnePlus content, and then having the opportunity to go ahead and pick up a Samsung Galaxy S21 and test out that camera. So being a YouTuber these days, it's hard, right? It's very, the market is very competitive, and um, sometimes they say you just have to keep making videos, and then you'll one day, you never know, you might hit it. But I'm more of a realist. I'm not very optimistic. Like, just taking a step back, looking at how many videos are produced per day. I think they said millions of videos are produced every day, something along the lines of that. So there's a lot of competition, especially in a tech scene. But if I were to look at my revenue right now, this is the thing that really scares me. It's the YouTube revenue, how they calculate how much money you make. Oh man, last week I was really killing it, guys. I was making, I mean, not last week, last month for Black Friday, guys, with that shaver. I posted a video on a shaver, on an electric shaver, and I made about a ton of money, like 70 bucks on those videos alone. My revenue, let's see, my revenue went up to about 180, and right now it's just dropped. Every day I check it, I'm posting more videos, but my revenue it just keeps going down and down. So it's not about how much views you get, it's about what kind of products you make and who the products is from, and it the consumers, what they want and what's hot. And it's kind of interesting because most of my viewers, about half of them, are from India. And it makes sense because with India, that's OnePlus's #1 market. Tech for your needs. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I think you're using a iPhone XR last time I talked with you. So, are you still using that, or did you upgrade to something else? So this year was actually pretty easy to upgrade. There was so many great deals from T-Mobile. I was able to pick up a freaking iPhone 12 mini, man. Super excited about that. A lot of people have said that they don't like the mini, it's too small, but I think it's a great size. And it's not for those who are gamers, it's not for those who spend a lot of time on their phones. If I'm going to read a book, I'm going to pick up the OnePlus 8T. So the way how people have chosen to use their phones, it has changed. And a lot of people use all their phones for pretty much 90% of their entertainment purposes. So just look at the sizes of these guys. So the smartphone market is changing, and if I gotta say something, guys, I'm concerned about being a tech YouTuber. We make, well, a lot of people make a lot of money because they're able to sell products and help manufacturers sell their phones. And what if people are not able to go ahead and buy as often as they could? I mean, it's unfortunate because with OnePlus, let's say they came out with a truly beautiful, great phone, or even Apple, they came out with a really good phone, but the sales are down because people just can't afford it. That makes that product a failure when it comes to the company, because the company needs, the main goal of a company, any business, is to make money. You can make the crappiest phone, but you should have, should you come out on top with a huge revenue or huge profits, you won that year. If you came out with the best phone, but you barely sold any phones, you came out as a loser that year. So these manufacturers, this is something we have never ever faced in our lifetime. This whole epidemic, the job market, the economy. People are calling it another, recession, Great Recession. We have. I'm not going to go as far as to say that. It's not the same as that in the 1919, 1920, whatever it was, the Great Recession. We have our technology from then. It's vastly superior, and we could use technology to get us out of this funk. So I'm not looking at this as it's going to be, we're doomed. We're not doomed. We have a really good chance of getting out of this. So As for smartphone manufacturers, they're scrambling right now. They have no idea what to do. They're trying to adjust on the fly. That's why, especially OnePlus, OnePlus has no room for failure right now. They can one screw up and that could set them back, man. And what I'm seeing right now is they're trying to gauge the market. And in the United States, the market, if they're going to put out a phone, they have to make sure it's, compatible with the US carriers with all these bands. The US smartphones, they use a lot of bands for some odd reason. So for OnePlus to release the N10 and the N100, that makes sense. That those two models are going to rival the Motorola Play or Power, whatever it is. What's Motorola's phone with the huge battery? They keep changing up the names. I knew back in the day it was the Motorola E5 Plus, something like that, but they've changed it up. So the Nord N100 is going to rival that one. And depending on the performance, I might go ahead and recommend that phone over the Motorola Power. And for the N100 or the N10 5G, that could rival Motorola's G8 series. You're getting, 90 hertz. Performance, I'm not exactly sure. Battery life is going to be great. Camera, they're advertising a quad camera system. So, and for the Motorola G9 that's on the way, it looks really damn good. As for OnePlus, they could have made their entry the Nord N100 series or N10 series look a little bit better. As for the Moto G9 Power, it looks like a freaking Xiaomi phone. The camera setup on the back, it looks gorgeous. You have the same rectangular design, but the flash, it's a little bit more longer. It looks really nice, really modern. So with this is going to be OnePlus's rival. I'm not going to bring in Samsung into the picture right now. I've used the Samsung A10e. That was about about $200 from T-Mobile. But now the N10 has 5G. I don't know any other phone in that price range that has 5G in the US market. So if you were to walk into a US carrier store right now and you wanted the cheapest 5G phone, you could get one for about $300. And with the FCC telling T-Mobile right now to calm down, to like, hey, no more 5G, no more boasting of 5G. What I'm seeing right now is that consumers, well, T-Mobile customers, they're the ones right now carrying, they're the ones, boasting about 5G speeds, myself included, because the 5G speeds I'm seeing right now, it's really damn good. And tech for your needs, he says in the chat, he's still using the iPhone XR, still going strong. 1 year and 7 months since I bought the phone. That's longevity right there, guys. That's longevity, and that's something that smartphone manufacturers, specifically Android manufacturers, are going to struggle with. If you get an iPhone, at least 5 years of updates, guys. For some Android phones like the OnePlus N10 or the N100, you're just getting one major OS update, and it's coming with Android 10 out the box. So those two phones are only going to have Android 10, the latest. So, these are things you guys might want to consider: longevity. And with how the world is changing, we are moving towards a more minimal side of things. I don't think people could have the same buying power as before, where they could buy the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, all these high-end phones. So manufacturers are making more affordable phones, and we'll have to wait and see how the economy bounces back. They're talking about a K-shaped recovery. So that means a lot of people are not going to have the same buying power as before. So guys, you guys have any questions or anything? I'm just trying to really put in some work on this channel. I know as that OnePlus guy back in the day, I was really, rising, but life, life is life. So things came into the way. Partnerships broke down, and it just wasn't the same. So, I mean, it's still a good way to keep you on your feet. It's a great hobby. You're talking about tech. Juan Carlos, greetings. Your OnePlus 8T is T-Mobile version. Yep, this is the T-Mobile version. I traded in my Pixel 4 XL for it. The deal, I believe it ends on January 7th. So if you guys want to go ahead and pick one up, I highly recommend this phone. Only because I was able to find a really good Gcam port, and the photos I've been able to take with this, it's really, really amazing. Go ahead and check out my Twitter account, my website. I've posted photos there. He says he got the update 11.0.68. Uh, for me as well, I did get the same update today, and I went ahead to go ahead and post it. And it seems that some people got this update like on January 2nd, but for me today, it was the day it actually was pushed out. So for this update, you're going to get just some software improvements and bug fixes. I haven't received or experienced any bugs since the last update. So I was hoping for the December security patch, but I guess with everything that's going on, OnePlus is more focused on pushing more phones. So right now I'm on the November security patch. Let me check this out again. My security patch, November 1st. So we have bi-monthly updates, supposedly. So by February, I should get, no, sometime this month, I should probably get another update, right? Bi-monthly. So are we already due for another update? I know with T-Mobile, they do their own testing and then they go ahead and push out, their update. But I heard the last update for people who have the unlocked version, it was giving them some issues. All right, Paneet, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm confused between iPhone 12, upcoming 9, OnePlus 9, and the Samsung S21. What do you mean you're confused? You're confused as to which one you should pick up? Um, well, here's the thing. OnePlus, anytime they release a phone, they put in a ton of hype. A ton of hype, and hype doesn't really mean that your phone is going to be a good phone. For example, I would say the quad camera system, it was kind of hyped. 120 hertz might have been a little bit hyped, but for OnePlus, the hype for coming to 2021 is going to be that partnership with Google. Are they going to work with Google on the OnePlus 9 series? Is it going to be another, phone brand or another model coming out that's specifically, Google and OnePlus? Like, is it a Google Play Store edition? We have no idea. So, as for my OnePlus 8T, performance is great, battery life is great. I got full bars. You guys could go ahead and see that. Like I said, the new T-Mobile is awesome. I have nothing bad to say about it, only good things to say about it. And I know back in the day, a year from now, I got the OnePlus McLaren, and the speeds, everything, it just was not, it was like a prototype. It wasn't ready for the market. But today, after a year, the improvements I've been seeing from T-Mobile, it's awesome. So, like I told you guys, all it took was some patience, and I told you guys T-Mobile was going to eventually become the best carrier in the U.S. So, Paneet, I live in India. Like I've said, a lot of people from India are watching my channel, so I gotta focus on that India market as well. I look Indian, but I'm actually not from India. I live in India, so Exynos 2100 processor here. This is what's scaring me, guys. I hate diving into politics right now, but from a global scale, these companies are, slicing up countries or regions up, and they're giving them different products and exclusive products. For example, I love the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition, and there's people and around the world who hate it because they're not getting the Snapdragon 865. They're getting some Exynos processor, which has a bad battery life, or worse battery life, worse performance. They're just not happy with it. And for me, it's like, why would you give people that processor? It doesn't make any sense. Nothing, something. I believe it has to do with politics. Tech for your needs. Why aggravated towards OnePlus brand more than other brands? After all, it's part of your channel name. Um, you see, why am I more favorite, or why am I more into OnePlus more than other brands? Um, well, first I was into OnePlus because they were the first company, the only company to invite me to a keynote event. I tried to sneak into a OnePlus. I was young, man. I tried to sneak into a Samsung keynote event. I waited online. That was for the Galaxy S4 series. It was in New York City. And, I tried making some YouTube videos and whatnot. And, it was just like for OnePlus, they actually reached out to me. They were very, very interactive. They have a community. And if I felt like, hey, there's a company that's actually willing to listen to the consumer and have a relationship. I know it sounds cheesy. I think it was Saki Tech. He had a Twitter post the other day where he said, people are just way too in love with their phone, way too infatuated with their phones. Like, it's just a phone, but for me, like I'm guilty of it. I'll say, hey, I love my OnePlus phone. I love this. But um, I guess we're just fans. So for OnePlus, their performance is what got me into this. The Oxygen OS. If Oxygen OS was removed from the OnePlus series, I don't think I would be able to buy another OnePlus device. That's like their bread and butter right now. As for the iPhone, I have no issues moving into the iPhone. And for a lot of people in America, they rather buy an iPhone or a Samsung phone. And you can't blame them. iMessage, the ecosystem. When it comes to taking photos, I got AirDrop. There's so many features, and the performance is great. Now we have 5G capabilities on it, and right now you could get like an iPhone for free with a trade-in. You could buy an iPhone for under 500 bucks, the SE. We have some great carrier deals. You trade, if you were happen to transfer from one carrier to another, you could get an iPhone for free as well. For OnePlus, they have so much competition in the U.S. market. It's very, very tough for them. But this phone, it's one of my favorite phones, and my SIM card is in this phone for a reason. I was this close to swapping with the S20 Fan Edition right now, but Oxygen OS is just something that I'm a big fan of Oxygen OS, so my SIM card is going to stay inside that phone. This is my third iPhone. Before that, I've always been Android. Interesting. So, why did you make the switch to iPhone? Now, I know with Android, performance has gotten better, and with the iPhone, the camera system has gotten way better, and the ecosystem, you got the ecosystem as well, like I've mentioned, and the pricing is getting lower and lower. So, it's a hard sell to tell someone you should pick up a OnePlus over an iPhone. And my job is not to tell you guys to, buy a OnePlus device. My job is just to go ahead and just cover OnePlus devices. So, for Carl Pay and Akis, we got two guys. We lost two guys. Now, people say, "Hey, we lost Carl Pay. We lost this guy. What's going to happen to OnePlus? Is everything they're panicking?" But we have to. This is a big year for OnePlus, for the OnePlus 9 Pro series. if they nail this down, if they, if people have said OnePlus, the only thing they're missing is better cameras. But with the Gcam app, I'm really satisfied. But if they were to come out and release that Leica, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, Leica lens, if they use the software that Huawei is using, if Huawei could sell them that camera software, and they could build a phone with some great cameras, I would not mind opening my wallet to buy their phones. Because as you guys know, photography, camera equipment, they're very, very expensive. And if you were to go ahead and pick up a phone that could, really provide you some great photos, great video, maybe it could serve to you as a pocket GoPro, as a pocket DSLR, I could see value in that. But once you release a phone like this with a camera system, which the monochrome sensor, you guys saw my video on that. It's not very impressive. I don't think it really does anything. The macro lens, it's okay, but it's not the quality. It's meh. So if you were to spend $750 on this phone, and there's competitors all around you with better photography uh, systems, better software, better camera hardware. As a buyer, you gotta sit back and be like, what am I paying for? Am I getting ripped off here? But the thing that saved OnePlus, in my opinion, in the US for US fans, it was that T-Mobile deal. Trade in a device and get a free OnePlus 8T. So if it wasn't for that deal, I wouldn't have a OnePlus device right now. I wouldn't be that OnePlus guy right now. I wouldn't be covering OnePlus right now. I would be with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition, and I would be looking forward to the Galaxy S21. Right now, I'm looking forward to the OnePlus 8 Pro for that phone price to drop down. So we will see what happens. But anyway, guys, we have about 5 people in the chat room. If you guys have anything to add to this, I'm on Twitter right now. Lady Red, checking out her tweet. We got Big House Productions. And I saw Digital Slang. He actually released a video on the OnePlus Pro Buds. Be sure to check out his video. Now, he says that the quality is great. It's the design. It's a little bit more different than the Samsung Buds Plus. But it'll be interesting to see how the quality is. I mean, can it match or can it surpass the Apple AirPods Pro? That's going to be interesting. And for OnePlus, it feels like they're always a step behind, like a year or 2 year behind the competition. For example, their wireless buds, that should have been released alongside the OnePlus 7 Pro. Looking at those buds, people were just making fun of it. They were saying, hey, this is like an iPhone AirPod clone. It was, in my opinion, it was a bit worse than an AirPod clone because it was bigger, and it would kind of, well, the person I gave it to, he says this as well. He says that it gives him some soreness on his ears. So for the design, I'm not exactly sure. I thought they could have built a better product. As a first generation product, I'll give them, I'll give them a pass because it's first time using truly wireless headphones. And in the past, their main selling point was these wired, headphones. Now, these have some power in them. They're wired, so obviously they're going to sound better than the truly wireless headphones. But this was my take. My point of view was OnePlus, if you were to remove the headphone jack, you had to have gone truly wireless. I think it was the Samsung Galaxy Earbuds. Those introduced me into the world of wireless headphones, truly wireless headphones. And once you start using them, you can't go back to using wired headphones. Now, I still use these for most of the day because, I just put on my neck. I'm able to switch from my Mac to my OnePlus device pretty easy. If I'm doing something else, I'll use my Samsung Galaxy Buds. And like I've said, The Samsung Galaxy Buds, they work best when it's paired to the Samsung Galaxy Wear app. As for these just pretty much connect to any phone pretty easily, no issues, and they don't require, you know, all these permissions to your contacts, call history. I still find it very odd why Samsung requires you to give them all that information for their watch and their headphones. Now, you guys could say, you know, they want to have the ability to go ahead and tell you who's calling and, you know, all these other stuff to access more features, but we should still have the opportunity to say no. And for Samsung phones, like I've said, the advertising on their phones, it's increasing, and this sounds like, it feels like they have this huge monopoly on the market right now. Um, and how can other people compete with Samsung? You know, if OnePlus should go ahead and try to compete and you know, add in Facebook into their phones to bring in more revenue for their company so they could, you know, survive, people are going to be outraged, in which they were with the OnePlus. What was it, the 8 Pro? One of those phones we had Facebook installed, and it just wasn't the same. We as fans, we appreciate OnePlus for the minimalism, for the low bloatware. I mean, I had, like I said, I've had a poster in my wall that said all the reasons why you should buy a OnePlus device, and I had to just cross them all out because OnePlus just kept changing and changing, and they're changing based on the market because they're trying to survive. Like I said, OnePlus is just, man, they have no room for error. And for the OnePlus 7 series, we still haven't had the was it the Android 11 update. You know, I was telling guys the other day, you know, I would love to see Oxygen 11 on a OnePlus 7 Pro. It was, that phone was just, well, Oxygen 11 was just made for that phone. Easier one-handed use, a gorgeous UI system. You guys are going to love it. Now, people have said that Oxygen OS, it's a copy of Samsung One UI. And let me tell you guys this. Samsung has done a ton of research on one-handed use. Everyone has done research on, you know, creating a UI system that gives you a better one-handed use. And when it comes down to the science of it, you you want to, the best way to make it is the way how Samsung is making the Samsung One UI. So you guys can see the LG Velvet, they have a one-handed mode as well. So when it comes down to the science of it, you it's going to look similar. There's just not, there's no other way for you to make a one-handed mode more enjoyable than what's on the market right now. So it looks similar, but you guys are going to love Android 11 if you have yet to download Android 11. Now, the problem with OnePlus right now is that they're having issues with decryption on the OnePlus 7 series, which, you know, we were expecting a release or update in December. We're now into January. Now they're doing closed beta testing right now. Then they're going to have to do open beta testing, and then they're, after all that is done, then they could probably release Android 11 on the OnePlus 7 Pro if everything goes according to plan in February. So that's something very, that's very unusual for OnePlus, and fans, they're not happy, but you know, things happen, guys. So if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. We have about 6 people in the chat. Thank you guys for joining me. Hit that thumbs up button if you guys enjoy this video. You know, work those algorithms. Man, life has been like an episode of Black Mirror with this whole epidemic, with this whole quarantine stuff, and me just, you know, trying to build a digital presence into the internet. You know, whether it's social media, YouTube, you know, all these things. Uh, Working on my own website, it's been tough. How are you guys handling the whole situation? Are you guys all right? If you guys have any, you know, you need someone to talk to, just, you know, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or social media. Yeah. So for me, guys, am I going to pick up a OnePlus Nord? like I said, if I do pick up one, it's going to be the one that's 179. That price range, I really do like it. Ishmael, I really want OnePlus to go back to all screen displays. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Tech for your needs, he's taking it at one day at a time, which as you should. So, Ishmael, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. The all screen display, it was a huge fan favorite on the OnePlus 7 Pro. But the thing is that the weight distribution on the phone, it was too heavy up on top, so it made it hand fatigue was an issue, and another concern was how long was the pop-up camera going to last. Now, a lot of people they have no issues with that pop-up camera, but in the long term, you know, it was a concern. Maybe a year from now, are people going to have some issues popping up? We don't really know. And something else was a concern was face unlock. With the OnePlus 8T, with this little cutout over here, instant face unlock works pretty quick. If OnePlus were to bring back the pop-up camera, they would have to find a way to make that camera, lighter, number one, and make it pop up a little bit more faster, number two. So that was my only concern. But anyways, you guys have any other questions? We've been in this live stream about 51 minutes so far. It feels like a lot of people are home right now quarantining and they have nothing else to really do, so they're into the YouTube game. So we're seeing a lot more, tech YouTubers. Um, you know, so that's why it's another reason why it's important to have a niche. You want to make people. Oh snap, Felsh. He just retweeted my video, my live stream on Twitter. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Trying to start something, trying to put in that work. I mean, we have so many tech channels out there, and if I could, hopefully provide some great OnePlus content for you guys, you know, I'm happy. So, if you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know down in the live stream. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? I mean, the main reason for me to come on live is to actually interact with people. I want to see what people are thinking. I want to know what's going on in their heads. What do you guys think about my channel? What do you guys think about, the videos I'm producing? If you guys have any advice or anything, let me know down below. Yeah, so it's about 52 minutes. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. So if you guys are just joining us right now, Carl Pay and Atkiss. Carl Pay is working on something new. He's not releasing any information. And Akis, he just said goodbye today. And if you guys don't know him, you guys have probably seen him on the OnePlus Nord documentary. We watched the OnePlus Nord documentary, and to see where OnePlus Nord is today from that documentary, I can't make the same connection, like that same whole, the whole vibe, that whole Nord spirit experience back in the day when it was first released compared to now. It's different. So OnePlus is changing, and they're changing to survive and to continue to provide some excellent products. As for the lower range models, I don't really know what to say, guys. I'll have to go ahead and test it out myself. The Verge and some other companies as well, they said that they were experiencing some lag, which is unheard of for Oxygen OS. So hopefully OnePlus has been able to fix all those bugs. Hopefully the Nord N10 5G and N100, we see that same smooth original Oxygen OS experience in those phones. If we are able to experience that fast Oxygen experience on these Nord series that's coming, I would highly recommend anyone picking up these phones. If we don't, if you were to add up all the cons, like getting just one major OS update and having to install Gcam, all these other little small things, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I could recommend those two phones. So I'll try to get my hands on one of these guys and I know a lot of YouTubers out there already have their hands on them, but it's not to really, experience a phone. eh, Based on my experience, these review units that they send out, sometimes it doesn't really tell the whole story. Sometimes for OnePlus, it might take like a month for them to push out an update, which really stabilizes the phone, and it gets rid of all the bugs and whatnot. So it's for me to give you guys some advice or recommend a phone. It would take me at least 3 months to really get used to the phone and be familiar with it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, man. We're here for about 55 minutes. Thank you guys for joining me. All three of you guys here right now. This Altered Tech, aka that OnePlus guy, signing out. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Take care. Peace.